I thought Mr. Foster was done with his white pride organization that he was supposed to be affiliated
I'd like
with.
to object to
What
that.
prior organization is that?
It was a young childhood. As I was a kid, I
You're
was
still a
affiliated
kid.
with white pride. But since me and her had been together, I dropped that.
Your Honor, he also called me out my name, called me the N-word, and I felt very disrespected.
What's the
when
N-word?
He called.
Your Honor,
What?
I was up against the wall. She had me in a
Up
chokehold.
against the wall, and that was the only way you knew to get out?
Your Honor, it was out of stress. You know, I'm sitting there up against the wall. She's choking me out.
Choking you.
You know, trying to get away.
And so as she choked you, you called her that word?
It wasn't done out of just jumping at it. It was out of.
It was
an
done out of what
accident.
was inside of you, because what's in you comes out. That's what it was done out of, and you knew that would hurt her. Is that what you were doing?
At the time, I was up against the wall. I didn't want to hit her, and I was trying to get away, and it slipped. It wasn't
No, it
purposely
didn't slip.
done.
Your
No,
mouth opened and your
exactly,
tongue
Your
moved
Honor.
and your lips moved and you said the word.
Exactly, Your Honor, because it's more than one. That's not the only time he didn't call me either.
So if you're up against the wall and she has you pinned against the wall choking you, you didn't think that she'd choke you on to death when you said that?
Your Honor, she's also made racial gestures
I didn't
towards
ask you
me.
about that. I'm talking to you right now. I'm going to go back to her in a minute.
I wasn't sure. I was right at that point in time, you know, trying to get out of it so I can breathe again. I wasn't concerned about what I was saying. I was concerned about getting back to my feet.
And what's within a man's heart comes out of his mouth. That was in your heart.
At
You
that
may
time,
not be practicing it, but you're still thinking it.
I don't believe that way no more. I haven't believed that way in a long time.
Since when? Yesterday?
No, not since yesterday. Since I've taken responsibilities and became an adult and take care of my family as I'm supposed to.
You weren't an adult in having responsibility when you called her that name the last time you called her that?
That was over almost 2.5 years ago.
So since then you've changed.
Since then I have changed.
So if I
have
pin you
grown
against
up.
the wall now, you wouldn't call me that.
No, ma'am.
Your Honor,
Why did you have him pinned against the wall choking him?
Because we had gotten an argument over some things he had done, and I didn't see that they were fit enough to, you know, take care of my son. Like, we needed diapers and stuff, and he wouldn't buy diapers and stuff like that for our child.
And choking him got you some diapers.
No.
Now, he shouldn't have called you the name, but you shouldn't have choked him either. You both owe each other an apology. Give it up now.
Sorry.
So what do you mean when you say he went back to those ways? What did he do?
Well, there's these group of people that used to live by me when I lived in the town that he lives in, and they were white supremacist
Your
people.
Honor.
And my cousin, who also lives in the same town, he just told me that
Your Honor,
he
Hold on a second. I'm going to get back to you, Mr. Foster.
told me that he had been hanging around with them people with my son in his care also.
Do you have any friends that don't believe the same as you about anything?
Not really.
So just because he was hanging around with them, you're saying that he's going back to his old ways?
But I don't see why he would hang around with them knowing that they don't like, you know, my race. And, you know, knowing my son is half my race, you know, I don't see why he would even have our child around that type of environment anyway.
But you said you wanted a divorce because he had gone back to those ways. That seems like this is after you had separated. What caused the separation?
What actually caused the separation is when he cheated on me, and he finally admitted to it and told me, you know, that he had been cheating.
Your Honor, I never. During the time that she accused me of cheating, I was at home on house arrest, and all I was allowed to do.
Who had you under arrest? The police?
Yeah. When I was young, I committed a DUI, and I was serving my time for it. I went to work.
That's driving under the influence.
Yes, ma'am. I went to work and I came home. She heard a rumor from one of her friends that I was cheating on her with this other girl.
So it was your girlfriend that told you that he was dealing with someone else?
No, it was not. It was not that girl. It was neighbors in our complex who had seen him and the girl together at a local donut shop in the town we used to live in.
So a rumor from somebody that says, I saw your husband at a donut shop with another lady, that equals cheating?
Well, when she seen him hugging and kissing, and she had.
Oh, well, you didn't tell me all that.
And he had our son with him also.
So what about that? Hugging and kissing at a
never
donut
happened.
shop.
That never happened.
So
That
this is a neighbor that told you this?
Yes.
Your Honor, that was a cover-up.
A cover-up.
the neighbor had told me that she was trying to get with the Navy guy while I was on house arrest. I'd be at the house and they'd go to the base and do laundry. Well, I didn't just take the hearsay. I found out this guy's name. So I wrote a letter in my own handwriting and had this girl give it to her.
What letter is this? You wrote a letter to her pretending to be what? Pretending?
Pretending to be the guy that she was trying to go with.
Oh, so you wrote it in your handwriting?
In my handwriting.
Little Sherlock Holmes going on.
But now, after being together for a year and a half, you'd think that she would know my handwriting from somebody else's.
Ought to.
But she didn't.
So what'd you tell her in this letter?
I explained, because I went to bed every night at 10 o'clock, because I had to get up early. And so I put on the letter that this person would call after 10, expecting her to tell me, hey, this guy's trying to get with me, here's this letter.
You expected this woman to think that it was a letter from another man, and she was going to come running to your arms and say, oh, Anthony, I just got a letter from an admirer who loves me and wants me to call him at 10. Did you really expect that?
Well, I expected her to throw the letter away, not read it, not sit there and run it into the bathroom and try to find out what it said and be all excited come 10 o'clock.
She did what was normal. When you get a letter from somebody and you think it's from someone other than your husband and you don't want your husband to know, you go somewhere and read it where you think you can read it in private. She reacted normally. Your reaction wasn't too normal. If you expected her to do that.
All right. I need everyone to take a deep breath because this case is actually insane. So you mean to tell me that this woman is seeking a divorce from her white husband who was in a white supremacist group when they met? I'm sorry, what? I mean, honey, love is powerful, but it is not anti-racism training. She thought that their love would overcome their differences. And I'm like, differences? This is not we like different music. This is your friends hate my existence. And she thought that he would be done with this group. He says that he was past it. And I'm like, past it? Dude, racism is not a phase like skinny jeans. And then the dude admits that when he would get stressed out, he would call her bad things. And then to make it even worse, he said that he would use those words instead of hitting her. Dude, this is not a defense that is helping you. I feel like this is the worst sentence I've ever heard in court. You don't get credit for not committing violence when you're using violent words like that. And now he wants us to believe that he doesn't think this way anymore. But here's the problem. If you're really done with this ideology, why are you still hanging out with the people who hate your wife and your child? This is not growth. I think also that this would be considered a relapse. You don't move on from hate by keeping the same hate-filled friend group. And I'm sorry, folks, we gotta talk about this guy's looks. Dude looks like Jonathan Lipnicki from Stuart Little. He grew up and chose the wrong life path. This man looks like he should be asking, can I get extra ketchup? And let's just be clear, guys. I'm 100% on her side here. She deserves safety, respect, and peace in her life. But I also gotta be real in this situation, folks. I don't understand how we thought that this was gonna work out for anyone. You don't marry someone hoping that they'll stop believing your humanity is optional. This isn't about an interracial marriage failing. It's about hate being incompatible with love. I myself feel like this was completely avoidable, but I want to know what you guys think about this situation.
How did you get a letter you thought it was from a man other than your husband? You recall that letter?
Yes, I do.
You went running to the bathroom to read it?
Yes, I did.
All excited?
Yes, I did.
Oh, now she got a big smile on her face, too. He makes her laugh. You recall that well. But you were interested in him because you were excited when you got the letter. Isn't that right?
Not necessarily. I mean,
you just said it. I saw your face. All your teeth were showing when you said that. And that was the first time you had such a big smile when you said, yeah, I got the letter and thought it was from him. Okay, but now you're saying that someone saw him at the donut shop kissing and hugging.
Yes.
And based upon that, you want a divorce.
Well,
did you see it?
Well, I mean, after asking him time and time again and, finally him admitting to me that he had cheated on me with this girl he's with now and finding a letter from her underneath my couch while I was cleaning.
Now, both of you always let letters be found. That is just so stupid. I mean, you let a letter be found under the couch?
Your Honor, this was after I'd already moved out of the house and was living with my parents again.
Was the letter sent before or after you moved out?
After I moved out, because I didn't even meet the girl until after I'd moved out.
So how did the letter get to your house and get under the couch?
I was over there visiting my child.
No, that's not true.
Oh, so you were silly enough to take the letter with you and leave it under the couch?
I didn't leave it underneath the couch.
So, but you're saying that it was after you had separated from your wife and decided that the marriage was over?
Yes, ma'am. After, I believe there's too many diseases out there to take a chance of someone cheating and catching it on my own.
Just because you're separated doesn't mean you can't get disease. I haven't heard that theory that if you're separated and go out with somebody else, it prevents disease.
Well, me and this other girl did not start having sex for a while after we started going out.
That's what I just said. Separation doesn't prevent disease.
Right.
So what's the difference?
Well, there was no physical contact in that manner.
Oh, Your
For
Honor,
a while, you said.
For a while, yes,
Your
ma'am.
Honor,
So
that
it
is
means
not
that it's
true.
going on now.
Yes, ma'am. I have a child with her now.
So you went and had a baby with the woman that you said you didn't start the affair with until after you had separated from your wife.
That's not true, Your Honor, because one time he was taking a bath and
Don't tell me you caught him in the bathtub together.
no, he had hickeys on his stomach from her though.
He had hickeys on his stomach.
From her.
While you were still married?
Yes. And he was still coming in trying to have relations with me. And even yesterday he called
Your Honor,
my
that's not
home
true.
and was talking about only thing I want to see bouncing is you.
Is that right?
Your Honor, that's not true.
But Mr. Foster, all you saw was that she read a letter that you wrote and that she thought that she was going to have an affair with somebody. That's enough to end a relationship or a marriage?
She was extremely excited to get a letter from some guy to the point of possibly cheating.
So you decided, well, she was excited about the letter. I'm just going to go ahead and make it real.
Well, at the time, she was making it real with a few other people too, by what I've heard.
Oh, now it's by what you've heard. Now, see, that's what's wrong with this marriage. People, both of you are still relying too much on what I heard.
All right, so now we're supposed to believe that this marriage ended because of cheating? I'm sorry, but how is this the straw that broke the camel's back? Not the white supremacy group, not the slurs, not the hanging out with people who hate your wife and kid. No. The cheating is where we draw the line, apparently. And the dude said that he didn't start the affair until after they were separated, so suddenly that's fine. And I'm like, of course you did, sir. That's the oldest remix in the book. But then she drops the detail that changes everything. She said that she saw him naked in the bath with hickeys on his stomach. Stomach hickeys? Brother, those don't just come from stress. Those don't come from misunderstanding, and those definitely don't come from we're already separated. But this is where my brain short circuits, guys. How is a man who looks like Stuart Little's troubled cousin pulling this much attention? The dude looks like he should be asking for a juice box, not juggling storylines. And to be honest with you, stomach hickeys sound weird, guys. That's just weird. But the thing that confuses me is when the judge says, that's what's wrong with this marriage. You're just relying too much on what you heard. I'm sorry, what? Judge, with all due respect, she didn't hear the hickeys. She saw them with her eyes on his body. And even if we ignore cheating for 1 second, which we shouldn't, guys, this marriage didn't fail because of rumors. It failed because one person thought hate was negotiable and the other thought love would fix it. Cheating wasn't the cause of all of this breakup. It was just a symptom. And this relationship was already unsafe for everyone, already disrespectful, and already broken at the foundation. And now we're pretending the issue is hearsay? I'm sorry, guys. I just don't agree with that. But what do you guys think?
Do you know if you would listen to what you heard coming from people, that two people would hardly ever stay together? And most of the time, your friends, your colleagues, your neighbors, particularly if they think that you're getting along well, and they're not, somebody's going to start some rumors. And it's usually because they like to see you broken up, because they're not happy. Aren't you aware of that?
Yes, ma'am.
Stop
Now.
responding to what you hear from others. So now you've broken up a relationship that probably could have stayed together on rumors that somebody heard. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
What a shame. Now what do you want from me?
I just wanted to conclude a final bill that was in the process after I moved out. She had stayed at the apartment without paying the rent, which came up to $2,000 with damages and back owed rent. I kept the electric on in my name and the gas on, and I paid those off.
So
No.
you're saying you moved out,
Yes.
and you told her you were moving out,
Yes, Your Honor.
and you paid the gas bill and the electric bill.
Your Honor, this right here is what's owed.
Oh, then now you have a document to prove what's owed?
Yes, Your Honor.
May I see that, Joe? So the total, according to this document, is $662.91 because they're saying that there were holes in the walls. They had to do some repairs. They had to rekey the place.
That is not true. There were
Closet
no
doors
holes
were
in the wall.
broken, holes in the walls, and they sent you to court and had to use the sheriffs to get you out.
That is not true. They did not send me to court. They did not have to get the sheriffs to get me out.
So you're saying that you moved out voluntarily before all of that happened?
No, I didn't move out voluntarily. I'm not saying that. But after I got my
Did they file a lawsuit to get you out of there?
the eviction,
That's what this
Yes.
is, eviction. I used the wrong word. I should have said they evicted you. I just was nice and said they used the sheriffs and went to court. That's what I'm talking about, eviction. Eviction is not moving voluntarily, Miss Foster.
I know that.
How long did you stay there, Mrs. Foster, after Mr. Foster left?
I stayed there until July.
So 3 months.
Yes, stayed until July.
Now, during that time, Mr. Foster, were you paying any child support?
I wasn't paying child support at the time. I was paying the utilities and supplying diapers and helping out with the baby's needs.
But you didn't pay the rent,
No,
and you didn't pay child support,
No, ma'am.
and you were working every day.
At that time, I was working part-time. Yes, ma'am.
You guys told me about everybody cheating on each other and playing around so much. When did you take the time to have a baby? You never told me that you had any kind of relationship between the two of you.
this was before we got married.
Oh,
This
before
is-
the marriage.
yeah, 2 months after we started dating, I had got pregnant.
So you did it was the cart came before the horse,
Yes.
the child, and then the marriage.
Yes.
I see. Why didn't you find some way to go to get a job or something, knowing that your husband had left and you had to pay the rent?
Because I wasn't thinking right then. At that time, I still had feelings for Anthony, and I still wanted him back. And
Okay, so you wanted him back. Did you think sitting there not paying the rent was going to get him back?
no, I was in the process of moving back to the town in which I was born in anyway.
So what does that have to do? You stayed there for 3 months. Do you think you can live in a person's property free?
No,
So why didn't you get a job or do something to pay the rent? You were waiting for Mr. Foster to come back to you and pay it?
well, he'd also told me he'd help me pay the rent too, to keep a roof over our son's head.
But he didn't do so. When he didn't do so, you couldn't figure out a way to go get some money to pay, to keep a roof over your son's head? You can't just sit around and wait on him if he's not doing it. I'm ready to rule. When Mr. Foster left you, and even though the divorce was not final and divorce papers had not yet been filed, once he moved out, he was not living there. So the rental responsibility became yours. However, according to this contract, since you and Mrs. Foster had signed it, the landlord is obligated or has the legal right, not obligation, has the legal right to come after both of you because you both signed this contract. So when you moved out of the apartment, Mr. Foster, you should have said something to the landlord that I'm leaving. I'm only leaving my wife in the apartment. Please just hold her responsible for it, and we're separating and take me off the agreement. The order is this: since you were not paying child support during this particular period of time, and your wife was unemployed and there was a child present in the house, I'm going to order out of fairness that each of you pay 1/2 of this and consider it a debt that was owed, because that's exactly what it was, a debt that you owed the landlord. Each of you is responsible for half, and that's the order of the court. Court's adjourned.
All rise. Parties may leave the courtroom.
Well, guys, this case was pretty insane to me. This marriage didn't fall apart because of the rumors, the hickeys, or who cheated first. I feel like this marriage just really fell apart because you can't build a life with someone whose values are fundamentally, against you. Like, cheating really wasn't the cause. It was just kind of the confirmation that this relationship doesn't really work. And you don't grow past hate while still hanging around the people who hate your wife and child. I'm sorry. And you don't get credit for not being violent against your wife physically when you're violent verbally towards her. And you don't get to rewrite reality because accountability is uncomfortable for you. This wasn't really a misunderstanding. It wasn't bad communication. It was a marriage that should have never existed. I find it really strange that she found herself in this situation to begin with, but there's a lot of things that I don't understand about the situation, so I can't really say what I would and wouldn't do. But what I will say is this: I am very glad that these two are not together, because I hope she finds a place for herself to feel loved and respected, because that's what she deserves. And I hope that this guy figures himself out.